Hello, and welcome to this episode in the basic series entitled Scanning Targets. I'm John Becker with Shooters Technology, makers of the Orion Scoring System software and the Athena electronic scoring target. In this episode, we'll cover how to scan and score paper targets. In order to have Orion correctly scan and score the targets, they need to be orientated correctly. Most of our supported scanners load with the top of the target fed into the scanner first and the aiming bulls facing the scanner as shown here, or facing away from you. This picture is off our support website. This covers the majority of our supported scanners, but of course there are a few exceptions that are shown here. The Canon C125 or C225, the aiming bull should face towards you and you scan the bottom of the target first, and then the 410 or 4010 and the 6010, the aiming bulls should face towards you and the top of the target should be scanned first. So you're gonna initiate the scanning of the paper targets from the Orion desktop. As we'd mentioned, you need to correctly position the targets in your scanner. And then I will show you there are multiple alerts that will draw your attention to address items that need to be further reviewed. They include a red highlight when you have too many targets in a series for a competitor, a gray highlight when you're missing targets or a series in the course of fire, and yellow, which is probably your most common message that's indicating too few or too many shots per target. So let's go ahead and go to the software and we'll take a look at scanning some targets. To start the scanning process, we're going to go ahead and hit the icon that looks like a play button with a circle around it. It's going to start to scan. You're going to start to see green highlighting. That means Orion is processing the target. And then if anything else comes up, you'll start to see yellow and red. Just understand this is test data. You normally wouldn't see all of this. So my targets have finished scanning. The green message or the green highlight has cleared. That is the example of where targets are still being processed within Orion. The white highlighting or lack of highlighting is when a target has been scanned and no errors or no issues have been found, like this example of the kneeling position. But again, your most common are going to be your yellows. So let's just take this top one in the standing position. If you highlight over it or you hover over it, it will tell you what the error message is. The other place to find that is right here. So in this bullet, expected 10, but instead have 9. So your way to navigate around, you can zoom in and out on the target. This box will bring you back to a full view, and then you have the individual aiming bulls. If you wanted to zoom in on bull number 1, bull number 2, etc., you can do that. So the other color convention here is the red highlight just means the currently selected bull. So you'll notice that this is red on aiming bull 1 and it's highlighted below. If I were to select this one with the mouse, that would turn red and then it would highlight aiming bull 4. So we are looking for the missed shot because again, we had expected 10 but have 9. You'll notice that there is a shot down here on aiming bull 10, but it is kind of far outside of the field of play of the target, but that's where the shot originated or it landed. So we need to add a missed shot. There's two ways to do that. If you have the actual hole somewhere on the paper, I like to just specify that because that would incorporate into all the X and Y coordinates and the shot placement statistics. You can highlight or you can point to the center of the target hole and double click it. It will score that based on the center of the target, so it would show up as a 0. I'm going to remove that for just a second. The other way you can do that, if you know you want to associate it with bull number 10, is you can hover over bull number 10, right click it, click add a shot, add a missed shot. Does the same thing, it would both be a 0. You're just missing out on coordinates a little bit. But you'll notice that that cleared, so now that turned from yellow to the lack of highlighting. It did bring up one other item, the gray highlighting, and that means we are missing a target or a series in the shooter's record. So like we have a standing target, we have a kneeling target, we're missing a prone target. That's to alert you that they are still missing something. So we'll go down and look at the next example. This one, again, you can hover here, said expect 10, have 9. You go back and look, there appears to be, looks like the shooter did not take a shot on the first bull. So again, you can right click, add a shot, add a missed shot. That will clear that message. Or again, the other way, well, in this case, because there was no hole, this would be the best way to add it. So moving on, again, you're going to see this is another example where expects 10, but you have 11. That's also very common, especially when you have more beginning or inexperienced shooters. And it appears as though they took 2 shots on aiming bull 3. To verify, you can zoom in. There are, in fact, 2 shots. Um, Standard practice for a match would be to pull the physical target and verify that there are 2 holes, but we can see that there are 2 holes. So what happens here is, per the rule books, if they did not skip an aiming bull, which they look like they did not, you have to find the highest score on this target, which is a 10.4. It's on bull number 8. And you would mark that as an extra shot by right clicking. So selecting it first and then mark as extra shot. And then it assigns the 2-point penalty for too many shots to the lowest score on the bull, on the target. So that cleared that error message. Next one, expect 10 but have 6. We'll have to see what happened here. So again, there were a lot that were outside of kind of between targets, and Orion didn't recognize that because they were so far away. So again, you can go ahead and double click it. It'll scan it. These two were notated from the range officials that those were sighters, so we're not going to count those. Had they scored those, you can go in and remove them, only if they're notated correctly. Here's another shot that is kind of far off of the bull. And then it looks like we have 2 shots that were misses. So we'll go ahead and add a missed shot, add a missed shot. That cleared that error message or that yellow highlighting warning. Further in their series, this one expected 10 but have 9. And this appears to be a shot that is really outside of the field of play. It's way up here. So again, you can right click, add a missed shot, or if you have the shot hole, I like to actually document where the shot holes are if they're visible. So go ahead and double click that. That'll clear that error message. One other thing I want to cover is if you were to scan a target that either is missing a label, maybe the label fell off, maybe it got smeared otherwise otherwise destroyed, Orion will put them up near the top with a code that it doesn't know where to assign it with. So it uses a date and time code to name the target. So if you highlight the target, it also has an issue that is brought to your attention in yellow in that it doesn't know who to assign it to. So this was a case up in the right-hand corner. For whatever reason, they did not have a sticker, so somebody wrote their name in there. You will see these fairly often as well. Um, Again, sometimes the stickers just fall off, but this case, they had written their name in lieu of using a sticker. So we know it's John Adams, we know it's standing, or I'm sorry, prone, and you can go in and assign the target. So if you left click on it with your mouse and then right click, assign to, you are brought up with the upper right hand corner of the target image. You know that it was a prone and it's a 3x10, so there's only one series of each. And if you click finish, it'll add John Adams, and you'll notice that when it found that prone target, it cleared the gray message that it was missing a target. So again, they all work together to inform you of what you need to look for as a stat officer. So in John Adams' case, all his targets are in, all the error messages are cleared, so the highlighting is gone or it's back to white. So the last format of highlighting, and we go ahead and clear this. This last yellow is expects 10, has 8. Again, situation where this one was way down, kind of out of the field of play again, so we can double click that. We're still missing a bull. You'll notice that there's a blank bull here, but there's 2 shots on the next bull, so per the rules, they need to skip one, so that is correct. They need to skip one bull on the target. It doesn't have to be the next in the series. So we can assume that this is the bull they skipped, and that is the correct treatment, but we still have an extra bull without a shot. So I'm going to go ahead and add a missed shot to take care of that. So that cleared the yellow highlighting here, but you'll see the red says you have 2 or more targets in the same position and series. So in this case, you can double check up in the corner. It is the correct participant, but it looks like their target got scanned twice. One way to double check, best practice is always to use the first scan target. You don't want to rescan items. Um, Down here in this middle box, there is a timestamp of when it was scored. So if you need to double check which one was scored first, you can do that. This one was scored at 10:21. And this one was scored at 10:20, so this would be the target you want to keep. So we'd eliminate, go in and click on it, right click, remove target. It's going to ask you to confirm that you're removing a target. And the red highlighting is gone. Now we're just left with the yellow. Again, was that case of skipping a bull because of the double shot, but needing an extra shot for a miss. So once you do that, all your error messages or highlightings are cleared. You are good to proceed to If this were the end of your practice or end of your match, you can go ahead and print results. We'll cover that in a future video, but at this point, your scanning, scoring, and verification process is complete. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when future instructional videos are available, and as always, if you have any additional questions, feel free to check our helpful guides on the website, or email or call our offices for further assistance.